Okay, so the very first question in front of your screen says x is equal to 1 minus t whole upon 1 plus t. Y is equal to 2t by 1 plus t. We need to figure out d2y by dx square. Okay, alright. So this looks like that this problem can be solved by parametric differentiation. In fact, higher order parametric differentiation, but there is a little catch. We don't need to complicate this problem much more. In fact, if you add x and y, what do you get? That is a little observation over here. If you add x and y, what do you get? 1 minus t whole upon 1 plus t plus 2t whole upon 1 plus t. So that would be equal to 1 plus t whole upon 1 plus t. X plus y surprisingly is coming out as 1. We need to determine what y double dash, right? That's what we are looking for. We need to differentiate this expression twice. That's all you need to do. So if you do that, what do you get? So 1 plus y dash is equal to 0. That means y dash is equal to minus 1. Now we need to differentiate it further. Y dash means what? dy by dx. And y double dash means what? d2y by dx square. That's what we are looking for. So y double dash is nothing but a constant. Option D is absolutely right. Okay, so this question is extremely easy. You don't need to know about what is higher order parametric differentiation method, right? Okay, so option D is the right answer. Got it? Okay, so here the question says we need to figure out the derivative of sec inverse 1 upon 2x square minus 1 with respect to square root of 1 plus 3x at x equal to 0. So in general, what happens? We need to look for derivative of something with respect to x or with respect to y or a single variable. In here, with respect to another function or another expression is given. How to do that? Let's understand it nicely. So basically, the catch over here is the question, the whole conclusion of this question is that with respect to any expression, if it is given to us, let's mark this expression as any other variable, let us say z this time. That means derivative of sec inverse 1 by 2x square minus 1 with respect to z we need to determine. Now this looks much easier, isn't it? And that too at x equal to 0. Okay. So now let us say that this is y. So we need to find what? Derivative of y with respect to z. We are looking for dy by dz in simple languages. Now I'm sure that you are able to understand what we are gonna get. Okay. So, okay. Let us take y as sec inverse 1 by 2x square minus 1 and z as, of course, discuss square root of 1 plus 3x, right? Now, sec inverse this quantity. Sec inverse 1 upon 2x square minus 1. First of all, let's simplify this. Then let's get back to dy by dz. I'm just trying to simplify this y. Let's forget the whole question, everything which we were discussing. Let's just focus on y equal to sec inverse 1 by 2x square. Can you simplify this? Yes, of course. Now 2x square minus 1. 2x square minus 1 means if you put x equal to cos theta, you get 2 cos square theta minus 1. Yes. 2 cos square theta minus 1 is what? Cos 2 theta. That means x equal to cos theta is a smart substitution over here. So if x is cos theta, you all know that theta is nothing but cos inverse x. Right? Okay. Cool. So y would be equal to, you tell me what? Sec inverse 1 by 2 cos square theta minus 1. That would be equal to what? Sec inverse, okay, 1 by cos 2 theta. And that would be equal to what? Y is equal to sec inverse sec 2 theta. Yes. Yes, my dear students. Sec inverse sec 2 theta. That means y is exactly equal to 2 theta. Right? Y is exactly equal to 2 theta and theta is replaced by what? Cos inverse x. So y is nothing but 2 cos inverse x. Now can you see what was y? Sec inverse 1 upon 2x square minus 1. What is y now? Y is 2 cos inverse x. Now we need to differentiate this y with respect to x, right? Because see, what do you want? dy by dz, right? That's what we were discussing. So now dy by dx whole upon dz by dx. Can you do that? Can you individually, separately calculate dy by dx? Yes, of course. So for that you need to know differentiation of cos inverse x. Right, differentiation of cos inverse x is minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square. So that means dy by dx, if you differentiate with respect to x, you get minus 2 by square root of 1 minus x square. This is dy by dx. Now let's look for dz by dx. Right, z is this. You need to differentiate with respect to x. So dz by dx would be equal to what? 1 by 2 root 1 plus 3x and multiply 3x by chain rule. Right? Okay. So dz by dx is here, dy by dx is here. If you divide these two, what do you get? Dy by dz. That's what you were looking for. Okay. So by parametric differentiation, we all know that dy by dz is dy by dx whole upon dz by dx. Let's just put the values. So dy by dx would be nothing but minus 2 by square root of 1 minus x square whole upon 3 by 2 square root of 1 plus 3x, right? If you solve this, what do you get? Minus 4 square root 1 plus 3x whole upon 3 multiply 1 minus x square. That's what you were looking for. This is dy by dz, and you look for x equal to 0. You look dy by dz at x equal to 0. So dy by dz at x equal to 0 is nothing but, okay. So this is nothing but simply minus 4 by 3 is your answer, which is matching with option D. Option D is clearly right. So you know, whenever with respect to some another expression is given to us, just mark it as z and mark this as y, right? Now dy by dz you need to calculate and think about parametric differentiation. So that would be dy by dx whole upon dz by dx. Differentiate z with respect to x to get this. Differentiate y with respect to x to get this. Divide these two. Put the value of x. That's all. Got it? Okay, so here we have a question which says y is equal to a scary looking expression where powers are 15, square root is involved. You need to look for this. What is this? Y double dash and y dash is involved, right? Y double dash and y dash is involved. So you need to differentiate this particular expression twice. That's all, right? So let's first differentiate with respect to x. Both the sides, what do we get? We get dy by dx, which is equal to what? Okay, so 15 will come in front. Then x plus square root of x square minus 1 raised to power 14. By chain rule, I need to differentiate this bracket one more time. So 1 plus 1 by 2 root x square minus 1 and then 2x over here. Similarly, this particular term differentiating 15 x minus square root of x square minus 1 raised to power 14, and then we have 1 minus 2x whole upon square root x square minus 1. That's all, right? If you take LCM, what do you have? 15 can be taken common. Inside that, x plus square root of x square minus 1 raised to power 14, right? If you solve this particular bracket, what do you get? So if you take LCM, square root of x square minus 1 would be your LCM, right? And then in here, you have square root x square minus 1 plus x. Surprisingly, these two terms are same. So this can be clubbed together and power would be 15. Okay, cool. Rearranging the next, 15 is anyway common. So x minus square root of x square minus 1. Then we have what? We have square root of x square minus 1. And then we have, okay, so 2 and 2 are gone. Okay, so this time we have a different thing. Square root of x square minus 1 minus x we have, and this is 14, right? So these two are not same, but we have opposite sign. Okay. So can you see that both the denominators are same? Right? Both the denominators are same. 15 is there. So can we take 15 by square root x square minus 1 on the left hand side, cross multiplication? If you do that, what do you get? You get this. So x square minus 1 will come here, 15 will come over here, right? So this will look like this. And now you are actually left with what? These two we've already discussed will be x plus square root x square minus 1 raised to power 15. And in here, can you see both the signs are opposite, right? So I need to take one minus sign. And then I have x minus square root of x square minus 1 raised to power 15. So what you have got is this. X plus square root of x square minus 1 raised to power 15 minus x square minus 1 raised to power 15. So only difference between this right hand side and this right hand side is just this minus sign. Here the sign is plus, here the sign is minus. Okay. So this is what dy by dx you are getting. Now we need to differentiate it twice, because if you've got dy by dx, yes, but you need to get d2y by dx square or y double dash. Okay, so by product rule, left hand side, let's differentiate. Okay, so yes. So if you differentiate this, 1 by 15 will remain as it is. Then differentiate this, 1 by 2 root x square minus 1. And then you have 2x. dy by dx is as it is. Right? I am applying the product rule. Then 1 by 15. Right now this time, this is as it is. So you have square root of x square minus 1 as it is. 15 as it is. Here this would be d2y by dx square. This is equal to right hand side derivative. So let's differentiate. Again, same thing. The question is a bit lengthy. So I'm just differentiating again. Yes. So you've got what? 1. Then you've got plus 2x by 2 root x square minus 1. Right? Basically, by observation, you can say that here you will get a plus sign. Right? Okay. Let's just go with the method only. Then minus 15x minus square root x square minus 1 raised to power 14. And in multiplication, you will have 1 minus 2x by 2 root x square minus 1. Okay. So 2 and 2 are cancelled out. 2 and 2 are cancelled out over here as well. Okay. So you are actually left with what? You are actually left with, okay. So this is x square minus 1 inside the square root. You will take 15 common. If I write right hand side only over here in this space, what do I get? I get 15 common and then square root of x square minus 1 common. Right? Inside this, if you take LCM, these two brackets would be same. So this is x plus square root x square minus 1 raised to power 15. And similarly, if you solve this, you get plus x minus square root of x square minus 1 raised to power 15. This is nothing but y. Right? So let's replace this thing by y. If you replace this thing by y, what do you get? LHS. LHS is this thing. Right? 2 and 2 are cancelled out. And you are left with what? X by square root of x square minus 1 dy by dx plus square root x square minus 1 d2y by dx whole square. 15, I have taken this over here. So 15 is here. One more 15 I have taken common. Right? This is our 15. Then root x square minus 1 is written over here. And this is replaced by y. Right? This is your RHS. The whole RHS is this. Right? So just replaced by y. So the expression is boiled down. Okay, alright. 15 and 15, two 15s are here. Now, this x square minus 1 inside the square root, I am just taking this thing over left hand side. That's all. This is the last step. Then you will see that I am getting this directly. Yes. If you do that, what do you get? You get actually, okay, so if you multiply it, this and this will get cancelled out. So you are left with x dy by dx. Okay. Then you have plus sign. And if you multiply this with this, square root gone. So x square minus 1 d2y by dx2. Which is this particular expression is equal to what? So 225y. That's all. 225y. This is what you were looking for. See, the whole LHS is automatically created. We don't need to create this whole LHS. We don't need to plug in the values. Right? By solving, by creating dy by dx and d2y by dx square, we've got this expression which is eventually equals to 225y, which means option D is the right answer. Got it? Okay, so the question in front of your screen says x equal to t cos t, y equal to t plus sin t. That means the curve is given in parametric form, right? And you need to figure out d2x by dy square at t equal to pi by 2. So here higher order parametric differentiation will be discussed. So stay till the end. You'll learn something new. Very first time we are differentiating the second order derivative. We are finding second order derivative by using higher order parametric differentiation. So first thing is very easy. We need to calculate first dx by dy. For that, we need to figure out dx by dt and dy by dt. So differentiating with respect to t, what do I get? So over here dx by dt would be equal to what? So t cos t product rule. T is constant. This would be minus sin t. Plus, now cos t is constant, or as it is, then t would be, derivative would be 1. So cos t minus t sin t is dx by dt. Okay, alright. What about dy by dt? Let's differentiate it over here. So t, derivative of t is 1 plus cos t. Simple. 1 plus cos t is dy by dt. If you divide this by this, okay, if you divide dx by dt by dy by dt, then what do you get? You get dx by dy. Yes. So let's divide these two. If you do that, what do you get? You get this. Cos t minus t sin t whole upon 1 plus cos t. Alright. So first derivative, I'm sure everybody is able to do it. Now higher order parametric differentiation. How to get that? How to do that? We need to differentiate it twice. Right? But wait, how we do it? So what we want is d2x by dy square. Right? So how do we do it? Basically, we need to differentiate this with respect to t, because here t is the thing, right? So d by dt with respect to d by dt of dx by dy, right? Now one more thing, what I want is dt by dy. Then only we can call it as d2x by dy square. Okay, so this is how our expression will look like, right? Now we just need to differentiate it once again. So that would be what you tell me. So dx by dy, let's differentiate with respect to t. Let's differentiate this. So d2x by dy square, let's differentiate this with respect to t. If you do that, what do you get? You need to apply what? You need to apply quotient rule. So that would be equal to what? Or let me write it this way first to make things easy for you. D by dt of what? Cos t minus t sin t whole upon 1 plus cos t. Right, then dt by dy, you can get it from here, which is nothing but 1 by 1 plus cos t. Right? Okay, so everything is sorted. Now you see the question looks easier. This is what we are looking for. Quotient rule you need to apply. You know how to do that. So d2x by dy square, let's apply quotient rule in this. So 1 plus cos t whole square, and then 1 plus cos t as it is. Derivative of numerator would be what? Minus sin t, and then in here minus sin, but then in here product rule, t as it is, then cos t, then minus sin t as it is. Okay, cool, right? And then again minus. Now this time cos t minus t sin t as it is. Yes. And then 1 plus cos t derivative is nothing but minus sin t. Yes. So this is the whole expression you're getting, d2x by dy square. And of course you have 1 plus cos t, one more over here, because this is here. Right? You just need to rearrange, nothing else. Now what? Finally, if you solve it as much as possible, you get this. But you have to figure out d2y by dy square at t equal to pi by 2. Right? Now you just need to put t equal to pi by 2. No need to simplify this further, right? If you put t equal to pi by 2, cos pi by 2 is 0, cos pi by 2 is 0, cos pi by 2 is 0, cos pi by 2 is 0. See, the expression has boiled down to a very small expression. So 1, then this multiply, minus 2. Why? Because sin t is 1. Right? And then you have a minus sign, and then t is what? T is what? Pi by 2. So minus pi by 2 multiply 1, and then inside the bracket again you have minus 1 whole upon 1. So what do you have? What do you have at t equal to pi by 2? You have minus 2, then you have minus minus plus. So you have minus pi by 2, right? Whole upon 1. So minus 2 minus pi by 2. If you take LCM, what do you get? You get 4 plus pi by 2 with a negative sign. Yes, this is your answer. Minus of pi plus 4 by 2. Option B is exactly right. Got it? Okay, so here we have ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equal to 1. We need to find double derivative of y with respect to x. Okay. So first of all, let's differentiate this with respect to x, both the sides. So we'll get 2ax plus 2h. Now product rule. xy dash plus 2hy, that's all, plus 2by y dash equal to 0. Yes, so there are two terms related to y dash. Let's isolate y dash. 2 everywhere, 2 is gone. So y dash is common. hx plus by is here. And on the right hand side, I have minus ax. Yes. And okay, I have plus hy. Yes, so y dash is nothing but, or in fact, minus y dash, if I talk about, is nothing but ax plus hy whole upon hx plus by. Yes, right? So after differentiating, we get this. Now I need to differentiate this again. If I differentiate this again with respect to x, y double dash we are going to get, right? So that would be hx plus by whole square. I am applying the quotient rule. Hx plus by as it is, right? And here ax plus hy as it is. So differentiate ax plus hy over here. What do I get? A plus hy dash. Right? And in here what do I get? I get h plus by dash. Right? Talking about numerator, let's simplify the numerator over here. If I simplify numerator, what do I get if I multiply things? So ahx, first term. And then I have h square xy dash, second term. Then I have aby. Then I have hbyy dash. Right? So these two brackets are solved. Let's talk about the rest too. So minus of ahx, right? And then I have, okay. Then I have abxy dash. Then next term I'll be having h square y. And then hbyy dash. Right? These are the 8 terms. 4 are in positive sign, 4 are with negative sign. ahx gone. Okay. hbyy dash is also gone. So we are actually left with what? Numerator is equal to, okay, hxy dash plus aby minus abxy dash plus h square y. If you take things common, what do you get? Numerator would be equals to h. Then you have, okay, let's take y dash common. Right? In fact, xy dash common. If you do that, xy dash common, then what do you get? H minus ab. And from here, let's take y common. So you have h square. Okay, you have this as minus, yes. So you have ab minus h square, right? This is your numerator and denominator is hx plus by whole square. Numerator and denominator are sorted. Your y double dash comes out to be this. Your y double dash comes out to be this. Okay, cool. Minus y double dash comes out to be this. All right. And minus y dash is given as, now one thing, you tell me one thing, that this is ab minus h square. This is h square minus ab, isn't it? Let's just check what have we got. So this is h square minus ab. This is ab minus h square, isn't it? Yeah, this is h square. Yep. Sorted. So this is what you have got. I am taking h square minus ab outside this. If I do that, I'll have y dash x minus y in my next term. Y dash x minus y. Yes. But I have to absorb this minus sign. So I have y minus x y dash. So y double dash final expression will look like this. Okay. All right. Now y minus x y dash is something I am looking for. Right? And that I will get by this expression y dash. Right? What I need to do is multiply x and then add y, simply that. And then plug in that value over here so that I can get y double dash. That's all. So over here, let's multiply x in this. If you do that, minus x y dash is equal to ax square plus hxy whole upon hx plus by. Now I have to add y in here. Y minus xy dash is equal to y plus ax square plus hxy whole upon hx plus by. Right? Now just take LCM. Y minus xy dash is equal to, okay, hxy, let me write it a little lower, little below. y minus xy dash is equal to hxy plus by square plus ax square plus hxy whole upon hx plus by. Right, so can you see what beautiful thing is getting formed? Ax square plus 2hxy plus by square, right, which is nothing but 1. So this y minus xy dash is this, which is exactly equal to this. These two are same thing. If you take LCM, what do you get? You get ax square plus 2hxy plus by square whole upon hx plus by. So here you have 1 upon hx plus by using this, right? So now you have y minus xy dash. You can put the value of y minus xy dash over here, which is nothing but 1 by hx plus by. So now your y double dash will look like h square minus ab whole upon hx plus by whole cube. That's it. Y double dash is equal to option A, matching with option A. So basically this question was a little bit lengthier and trickier. We just need to do little bit manipulation, right? We need to make sure we have y dash in front of us. We have y double dash in front of us. We are looking for what? We are looking for actually y minus xy dash, and we have this given information. We have to use multiple things in this to get the answer. This question is not difficult. I would not rate it difficult, but yes, many things are used in this question. If everything written over here in the one page or one sheet of yours, then the question will be extremely easy. You will be able to see this value is here, this value is here, right? So try these type of questions. You need to do over one space. You just don't, I don't want you to do it on half on the first page, half on the second page. Whole question on one place. Okay.